Here we have live two tall, blonde, blue-eyed women who like to speak and who like to empower other women to speak. Thank you, Monique, for coming today.
Amazing, Jessica. I love your series. And hey, welcome. Love to have you all.
Yeah. And I love the background. My girl, that's why you're so in shape and look great in your blue dresses. You climb up those mountains every day to commute, huh?
Yeah, we feel actually one of our, our logo is an eagle, and eagles are divine messengers, right? Aren't we all as speakers divine messengers? So, eagles don't flap or fly, they soar.
Oh,
This is why we are displaying the mountains today, because we want all of you to soar higher with Jessica and my support. So let's go, Jessica.
sore. Sore without getting sore. Which, if I walked up even 1 minute, I'd be like, ugh, I'm out of shape. Cool. So you must be tired. You just did a 3 day. Well, I don't know if you're tired. How do you feel after doing a 3 day intensive to help people increase their speaking prices and to speak with more impact?
Well, Jessica, how do you feel when you step off a stage? Amazing.
Yeah, amazing. We're
It looks
tired.
like, oh yeah, okay. Well, maybe our
Yeah.
bodies are tired. I don't know. Whenever I run one of our famous, fabulous, uplifting speaking breakthrough challenges, I'm definitely feeling hyped. I'm feeling joyful. There's just so much energy on this journey. There's so many people. We had hundreds of people signed up from more than 30 countries. And when you see that they sharpen their message, when you see that they get more clear on their dream stages, not only that, they start reaching out to event organizers, and when
Hmm.
they get hyped up to raise their fees to start making money with their speaking, it's one of the reasons why I get up in the morning. So I'm always feeling amazing. Yeah. And we did it last week again, and we get so much positive feedback, and I'm
Yeah.
just feeling great.
Yeah. Okay. Well, then you're obviously meant for this industry. If you don't get drained by people wanting, well, I don't know what I'm trying to say there, but uh, we'll skip to the business scale roadmap. So you talk a lot about scaling, and you gave a pretty high pitch for us to 10 times up our speaking costs. Not our speaking costs. What's the
Speaking
word?
fees, we're talking about
Fees.
speaking.
That's the right word. Okay, obviously I need help because I can't even think of the right word. My fees are too low. So when you have a business scale and you know what you're going towards, is that how we're able to ask for more because we see like the long game and we know our value? Or how dare we, let's just think like a typical woman, how dare we ask for 10 times more than we're doing right now? What is that shift that we have to embrace?
Okay, so it's actually not, the promise is not actually to get 10 times more than what you're getting today. That too, if you want to, for sure. But I always say there's more to the speaking business than what seems to be the obvious. The obvious is we step on a stage, we give paid keynote speeches, and we make good money this way. And that is
Okay.
good in itself. However, I always say that we as speakers, right? Yes, we share our message. Yes, we inspire people. The thing is, Jessica, you probably also have been at events where there were amazing speakers. You get hyped up. There's a high vibe in the room. Everyone's saying, "Yay, I'm gonna change my life." And then Monday morning, everyone is back to good old, right? So I always say, like, inspiration is fabulous. And yes, you and I know colleagues that are out there as keynote speakers exclusively, and that's wonderful in itself, because inspiration is kind of the wind underneath of people's wings to really get going. However,
Mhm.
you and I also know that inspiration dies fast.
Yeah.
So, the way that I've chosen to run my business and what we help people with is we don't only help them step up with their speaking professionally, we also then help them to scale their business, their speaking business, in a greater way. So, as I said, as you said, you asked about mindset shift. You asked about, do I need to approach things differently? I personally think there's three things to it. The first thing is, of course, mindset. The question is, all of you that are watching right now, ask yourself, do I just want to inspire people in my audience, right? Knowing that inspiration lasts, not so long,
Till the
or
next donut.
right, or do I really want to turn inspiration into transformation? Meaning that, do I also then, when I step off stage, take people by the hand and guide them through a transformational process to get them where they really want to be. Look, as speakers, we get them to see what could be possible. We give them examples of what could be possible. We might even give them a step-by-step roadmap on how to do it. Often enough, people know the roadmap but do nothing with it. So the question is, do you actually want to take people by the hand afterwards and guide them through a journey to really help them become who they want to be, achieve what they want to achieve, grow their business in the way they want to grow their business? Because that is really the juiciness in also the speaking business. I mean, most people around us, Jessica, they're not only out there exclusively as speakers. Yes,
Sure.
that's true. But our promise with HeartPowered Business is we help people go professional with their speaking so that they boost their reputation, they boost their visibility, they make speaking their most powerful client attraction tool, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then once they, again, and then once they attract more clients often enough, guess what most expert entrepreneurs do, like coaches, speakers, trainers, consultants, again, even when they're off stage, they're only making money when they're physically with the client or online with the client, meaning again, they're trading time for
Mm-hmm.
money. So
Mm-hmm.
what we do is we say, well, build your offers, build your offers, your services, your products in a way that you can bring more clients on board without
Mm-hmm.
selling more of your time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and build a scalable business so that you make more money, you serve more people, more businesses, more organizations, while you gain your time back. And when you then have a bigger budget and more time at your hands, then you can do something even bigger with your life than just building a business or working in your business. So
Mm-hmm.
three things, as I said. One is a mindset shift. Ask yourself the question, how can I serve more people? Okay, as a speaker with my speaking business, how can I serve more people in a way that I gain my time back, so I make more money, gain my time back, and can make an even bigger difference, right? So that's the mindset shift,
But
right?
wait, can I go into that a little bit deeper?
Yes.
Because if we're selling products and programs and trainings that don't take our time, they have to be pre-packaged. Because if you're leading that 3-day thing that you did this last week, 5 o'clock for 3 days, that was time for money. So are you then upselling a program that's already made that you don't have to be a part of? And that's what you think is how we reach more people?
There's so many business models out there, Jessica. Okay, so there's so many things that we could offer. And by the way, okay, we have actually developed a whole business scale roadmap, right, which consists of 8 steps. And first of all, you need to really scale yourself and your mindset to want to serve more people in a more powerful way,
Mm-hmm.
right, while gaining your time back, right? Then you want to scale your offer. Then you want to scale your marketing. Then you want to scale your sales processes. Then you
Mm-hmm.
want to scale your sales. Then you want to scale your processes. Then your systems, right? And then your numbers, and eventually your people. So eventually you scale your time and legacy. To
Okay.
come back to the one question that you've asked, which is only the second part of this whole roadmap, is how do you scale your process? How do you scale your products and services? There's so many ways of how you can do it. Scalability also does not mean that you're not working at all in your business, even though, yes, you can scale your business to a point where you don't eventually work in your business anymore much, right? But
Mm-hmm.
scaling to me in the first place means you can bring more clients on board
Mm-hmm.
without selling more of your time. Because, like, for example, if you're a coach or a consultant or a trainer, how many of these clients can you take on board until your calendar is full?
Yeah.
You see what I mean?
Yeah.
So then, yes, then there's, the most obvious ways of doing it is develop a process where your clients can work within the process without you having to be around all the time. Yes, and one of the things you mentioned is, for example, packaging these things up so they can do some part of self-study,
Mm-hmm.
could be a part of it, you see? Okay. Like you mentioned, for example, also, and then, people can do things in self-study, and you give them, like, you don't only give them information, you also give them little tasks so they have an experience of how they can apply your learning. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's the mistake a lot of entrepreneurs make, especially, expert entrepreneurs. Like this morning, I had a conversation also with one of our clients, and he asked me, Monique, how do I package things up? And he said, well, for example, packaging your knowledge and your information into a course is only one tiny step of it, because you rather want to give them less information, because the more information you give them, the more you overwhelm them. All right. Rather give them less information, give them more experience, so they use the information, they use the steps that they learned from you, okay, and they get results. So in my case, let me give you a concrete example to make it more simple and easy to understand. Okay. For example, last week, okay, we had 3 days on our Speaking Breakthrough Challenge. Yes. The second day was all about identify your dream stage and reach out to event organizers to see if they have an interest in hiring you as a speaker. Okay. I could have given them all kind of information, like, what's the best way of searching. I could have taught them about AI and how to use ChatGPT to find the right, events, right? We touched on that a little bit. I could have spoken to them about how to craft a message to an event organizer, how to prepare for the conversation with the event organizer. And all of these things, yes, we teach that step by step by step, not on our challenge, but in our professional speaking salon program. But last week, we just said, hey, find your dream stage, reach out to an event organizer, and here's 3 little hints and tips to consider when you're reaching out. People came back afterwards, said, oh my God, I'm more clear on my dream stage. Oh my God, I started reaching out to event organizers. And some of them came back and said, oh my God, I got an answer and they want to start talking to me.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I mean? So sometimes it's actually not bombarding people with information, but rather giving them a little bit of information and concrete action, so they have a concrete experience. And then from the experience, we can then fine tune how they're doing things going forward. You see what I mean? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. In a world of ChatGPT you can ask ChatGPT pretty much anything. I think it's all about experiences. So that's why I was curious to see like how you talk about millions, right? And my thing is you really have to have the mindset for, I want to speak to millions, and then you have to scale. So it is, your vision has to be very clear to put in the effort to do all the scaling. Because if you just want to be on a couple of stages, well, you call a couple of event organizers and you have a nice LinkedIn and a nice website and da da da. But if you want to do millions, well, it's a totally different mindset. And well, I just wonder how many women, I've never ever thought myself of like, oh, I'd love to talk to millions of people. What do you think from I saw 13 years that you've been with HeartPowered. Do you think that speaking to, like, do the numbers appeal to women? Because you put heart in your branding, and heart often is more directed towards women because we have one. Haha, ba-bump bunch, just joking. And then you talked about millions. And I feel like the women that I talk to, they more want to, like, it's not even about impact. It's about helping women with their message. So I'm just wondering, do you think it's about like the scale of it that's satisfying to people? And then shouldn't they be everywhere? Shouldn't they be on YouTube? Shouldn't they be on Twitter? Shouldn't they be on X? Shouldn't they be on TikTok? Shouldn't they be everywhere if they want to talk to millions of people? Or are you talking about scaling in a very specific way with your niche in very concrete ways?
Okay, I realize that. And Jessica, I understand there's a little bit still of, and you know what? If you don't resonate with the number millions, if that is too big for you, then define your own number. You see what I mean? Okay. Define your own number. Say, hey, how many people do you want to reach? Okay. I meet a lot of women that want to make a big impact. Okay. But some people say, I just want to, speak to audience of 10 people, or I want to speak to intimate audiences of 10 people. In the end, it's not actually the number of people you speak to. Not only it's the number of people you speak to, and the reach these people have. You see what I mean? If you speak to 10 CEOs that all run, like, I don't know, like $1 billion businesses, you can speak to 10 and still touch thousands and thousands of people's lives. You see what I mean? It's not only the number. The question is really, what impact do you want to make to whom? Okay. And let me break the million a little bit down, okay? And why do I say, why do we our framework's called Voice to Millions, right? Why is that? Because when I was speaking at a leadership conference in 2018 with friends of mine, we at the time, we were a group, and by the way, we have a call tonight as well again, a group called the Change Makers, okay? We spoke about the SDGs there and about gender equality, and we were at a leadership conference where, again, it was again black against white, men against women, right? And we realized, we said, hey, we need to stop going against each other. We need to start understanding that we all have the same ambitions, same dreams, same hopes, and we created a movement at the time. It was called No More Boxes. Okay, we said we need to step out of our box to embrace who we individually are, no matter our skin color, no matter our gender, no matter our bank account statement, right? And again, within 2 years, we reached more than 5 million lives on all kinds of different platforms. And of course, in media, of course, in speeches, of course, I mean, my friends were running like No More Boxes breakfasts, that were supported in different countries, even by the government, right? So again, you can reach a lot of people, right? I We call it Voice to Millions because I think each and every one holds a powerful message that has the potential to touch millions of lives. Okay. However, okay, also our mantra here at HeartPowered Business, or our mission is, we want to bring 10,000 people together that embrace the value of their message, that embrace the power of their voice, that embrace their greatness. Because if each of these 10,000 only touches 10,000 lives, now do the math, that's already 100 million lives. Okay. So I think we can reach millions of people, millions of euros or dollars or whatever your currency is, right? Because as I said, I don't only speak about how you step up professionally as a speaker. I also speak about how do you use your power of your voice, your speaking, to multiply your business. Look, Jessica, also the number a million might sound a lot, but if you speak to one person, and you make that, you ignite that person with your message, and that person speaks to two people, and these two people speak again to two people, that's already four. And these four speak to four, that you're already at 16, then at 32, 68, 128, and so on, you see? So, again, it only takes 21 times of duplication to go from 1 to a million.
Really? Wow.
So again, we always think like it's so out of our reach. It is not. It only takes 120, it only takes 21 times of duplication to go from 1 to a million. Doable? I believe it is, okay? But if the million scares you or scares anyone here, then what is the conversation? Again, the question is, the core question of everything is, what difference do you want to make being a speaker or with your business? And how big are you willing to go with it? Okay. And what I'm saying is, once you have your number that resonates with you, you say, I want to reach so and so many people, or I want to make that amount of money with my speaking business. Once you're clear on your number, join others and then multiply your reach, your impact, your influence together. You see, this is also one of the reasons why we run our Speaking Breakthrough Challenge, or why we run our Professional Speaking Launch Program, or why we run our Business Growth Track to get people to 10,000 in income a month solid, or why we run our or our business scale track, where we implement it like the business scale roadmap with people, right? Because we say, so many people out there, have a powerful message and story that can inspire and ignite others and can create an impact. And you and I know that creating a positive impact in the today's world is more needed than ever. Okay. I think we need to use the power of our voice to ignite others, to you know how it is. So many people feel frustrated. So many people, feel lonely at the moment. So many people feel, I even in business, I've recently read that the majority of people, even in a job, feel lonely at times, even in a business when they have a lot of colleagues around it. Yes, people feel lonely in their communities. People feel lonely in their families. Okay,
Mm,
intimate connection often gets lost these
mm,
days more
mm,
than ever. Why we are
mm,
focusing on, and I love AI, I love robotics, I love the innovation of our technology, but still we need to make sure we are not losing human touch behind it, right? So
mm,
again, and human connection and heart. Like last year, for example, we worked in Saudi Arabia where we actually brought love into business, and even the word love, right,
mm,
into business, where we help them, grow sales, grow profits, and grow as a company. So this, but I can only do this work that is going even above and beyond heart powered business, right? Because I have a business that's scalable, meaning that when I bring new clients on board, they get the support they need to get all the information they need to break through with their speaking, go professional with their speaking, but also to scale their business and eventually make a bigger impact in their life. Like two sisters I worked with, one in Switzerland, one in Pakistan, where then eventually as a result of them using speaking, they grew their business, they boosted their reputation, visibility, and they built a Montessori school in Pakistan. So now there's hundreds of kids getting access to education that
mm.
otherwise they never have, right? That
Beautiful.
is what I think we can do when we scale our business, right?
Mm, mm. Usually I hate a scale because it brings me bad news, right? But
Why?
this kind of scale,
Wow. But
wow, you
what,
know,
why does it bring you bad news?
now the scale is where you stand on to see how fat you got, right?
Oh, oh, that
That,
kind of scale.
that
Well,
that's the first scale I think of.
okay, but it's not the scale's fault. It just shows it shows reality. And again, you're either high.
Reality.
You could also say, Jessica, now I'm more greatness. Now I'm more brilliant. Right? Amazing. The scale is confirming that, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Or you could say, oh, you know what? That kind of scaling, I don't want. Maybe I go and run a little bit in the morning, right? So,
As the woman on top of a mountain. Great. Thank you.
right.
That was encouraging, and it helped me to understand perhaps the block that I have of imagining making a bigger impact and not knowing how to do that. But just the word scale and having your 8 steps of the scaling is like, oh, I wonder what level of scale I'm on. And that's very interesting that it's not just fluff in the air. It's scalable, it's strategic, it's using your connections, it's all very doable, and it's not overwhelming. So I did feel overwhelmed by that million and a little bit like saddened by it, maybe because I didn't believe in it. But it makes sense that if you structure things, I don't like structure. So for me, it's like uh, I'm sure there's a lot of us creatives out there that need more scaling. So thank you.
And I make a suggestion there, Jessica. A lot of people are a little bit scared or afraid of structure or don't like it, right?
Mm,
But you like
mm,
to play, right? You like games?
yeah.
Okay. So what we do also is, I always say that whatever we do should be easy, light, and joyful,
Mhm,
right? Okay. So for example, for every one of you that's still a little bit scared of going big or don't like structure or anything like that, what we did is at the beginning of the year, we created something that we call our Speak to Scale calendar. Okay. So every month we choose a topic. Like the first month we start off with boost your ambition. The second month is about boosting your confidence. The third month is about boosting your network and so on. So every month has a deeper topic. And every day we give little brain hacks or
mm,
little inspiring quotes or little what we call fun steps that only take about 5 minutes a day to
mm,
do, five
mhm,
to 10 minutes max a day.
mm,
Where again, when you play with that in a playful way and you take action every single day,
mm,
imagine a year has 365 days. You've
mm.
taken tiny 365 actions to elevate you, your speaking, and your business. So I'm happy to share this calendar with you. And if you want to, you can actually put it, into the link into the chat
Oh,
underneath this call, right?
thank you.
So everyone that wants to play with it, okay.
Mm,
So there is I think the initial versions, I think 27 euros. I think the other version is the premium version is 97 euros. The 97 euro version gets a gift to everyone every single month.
yeah.
Okay, like you're
So
gonna get a
happy
lot of
birthday every month.
right,
Yeah.
right. And also it goes then into your calendar, where every day on your calendar you see this tiny task to
Mm-hmm.
play with today. Like
Mm,
today, the task is like list 5 industry leading conferences where you'd like to speak next.
mm,
I think
mm-hmm.
that's the complete little tiny task today. So again, I think that if we take these tiny steps every day
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
in a joyful, easy way, it
Yeah.
makes it very easy. Yes?
You have convinced me, honey. Very good. It sounds easier than when I feel overwhelmed. Thank
There
you.
you go. Yeah.
We were in the Monique was the first woman in Toastmasters that introduced me to the world of like professional speaking. I think we were in Greece or Italy, and she connected like I have still have the picture. So many of us, like 50 of us, and we took a picture of just the women. I think. Well, it was almost pretty much women. Do you remember?
Oh,
You were
yeah.
wearing a blue dress. I think you often wear a blue dress.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Looks
do.
good on us blondies. And just seeing Monique in Bali at the Global Speaker Summit. So that was about 8 years later. And so it's interesting what we can do if we have structure, a plan, and also the support of our women community. So I appreciate that what you've been doing with Heart Powered. I know you encourage a lot of women. At the back of my mind, I've always kind of had you there, and as like this role model who stood up there and collected all of us and got a picture with us. And at the Toastmasters meeting, you said we can do more than just do free speeches where we get clapping. So people are watching. So thank you for your impact on me.
I'm so happy to know that you embarked on the journey. I know you have a powerful message, Jessica, and every time you speak again, you're igniting someone in your audience, right?
Mm,
I mean, often enough, sometimes people come back to us and say, "Well, because of that speech you've given there, I've
mm,
changed something. I did something in a new way. I embarked on a new journey." Okay,
mm.
and
Yes.
often enough, we never know, and still we touch so many people's lives when we do. So
True
I
that.
can only encourage you, women, but also men, okay? Every single one of us has a powerful message
Mm,
that's worth that's worth spreading. Because if you change some lives, it changes this world in a
mm,
big way, in
mm.
eternity, more than you
Beautiful.
think.
Beautiful. Millions, I say trillions. You got to change that branding, honey. Millions is too little. If all of us spoke our voices and shared authenticity, woo, that would be
There you
amazing,
go.
right?
10,000 times 10,000 brings, makes, changes to 100 million lives. I think that's a good starting point, don't you think?
Yes. Good thing we're young. We still have time to do that, right?
Sure. Yeah, great.
Dankeschön. Thank you, Monique. Thank you for your time. It worked out well. We had a little bit of glitch in the beginning, everyone. That's why we started late, but it looked like it was an okay. It was a great broadcast.
Absolutely. And again, all of you, okay, just really embrace the power of your voice. Speak up. And then once you are speaking up and you gain more clients, really think about how to build structure. How do you
Mm,
build a business as a business in a way that you can scale what you do? And scaling, means that you can serve more people in greater ways while
mm,
gaining your time back and doing something even more powerful with the budget, with the money you make, and with the time you have. Okay, so
mm,
speak up, scale up, make an impact in the world, all of you. And again, I would be very happy to everyone that joins us and wants to have access to our Speak to Scale calendar. Okay, I think Jessica, I know you are running these sessions. I think we should do something good for your people, right?
yeah.
I
Thank
would
you.
suggest everyone that only buys today through this podcast, okay, and refer back to this one, everyone that is saying, I want to play with all these little hints and tips for the whole year. If
Yeah.
you sign up on the basic version, 27 euros today, and you refer back to this podcast, we give you a VIP upgrade. How does that sound?
Yeah. Hey, just made 27, just made 75 euros for just listening in. I think that's a pretty great motivation.
Absolutely. Thank you
Awesome.
so much for
Okay.
being an amazing host today, Jessica. So let's pick up, scale up, impact the world together going forward.
Okay. Thank you. Bye.